Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Survival Handbook. Today we're going to teach you how to level your character very quickly and with relative ease. If you want to learn more about how to grow your skills and all sorts of other ARC related stuff, subscribe now so you don't miss anything. So to be honest, there are a few ways to level your character quickly. One of the simplest ways to level is by, just playing the game and allowing XP generation to take place at its standard rate. But oftentimes this isn't good enough for a lot of players, and even more often this strategy will leave players underleveled on official servers. I'll be honest, the strategies in this video will benefit the players on official servers more than players on different game types, simply because the skills, engrams, and stats required for success on official are so much higher. You won't typically find a player in a single-player world going on note runs just to gain levels. However, this is still a viable option to those individuals that want quick levels. So what can you do if you want those sweet XP points? Well, you have options, gamer. Note runs are often described by the community as the best way to get levels as quickly as possible. For those that don't know what a note run is, essentially it's a route you can take to find a plethora of explorer notes in a short amount of time, making you gain XP at a pretty ridiculous rate. You can find explorer notes on story maps like the Island and Extinction, but for time purposes, we'll only be discussing routes on the island. With the routes I'll give you today, you should be able to get yourself to level 60 within an hour, and we'll discuss how to get yourself to level 100 shortly after that. Keep in mind, my editor and I don't go on many note runs, but we have done several runs for this video to find one that is relatively quick and easy for you. Okay, so for this particular run, we'll be starting at East Zone 1. We'll be following a line of notes in this direction that starts right about here. Depending on where you spawn, you may have to do a bit of walking or running around just to get to the first note, and I actually got really unlucky with this spawn, so I had to do just that. Eventually, I end up crossing these few bits of water to get us to the main area that we'll start exploring. Once you get here, everything should be pretty much smooth sailing. The first one you're looking for is above the beach near the cliff line in a stone structure at 75.7, 79.8. After navigating the woods for a few seconds, the next note is very close at 74.9, 78.8. As you're gaining levels, I recommend putting your points into movement speed so you can complete this run more quickly as well as run from any danger you may encounter. Just with these few notes, we've gotten ourselves to level 14, and to be fair, you may be a higher level at this point if you've killed or crafted anything. The next note is still within these woods just beneath this little cliff hill thingy at 75.7, 78.1. If you continue heading west, you'll find the next note at the bottom of a hill, kinda tucked away at 76.7, 77.3. The next note is only a few footsteps west at 77.2, 76.4. This should be one of the easiest notes to find. Head north from here and you should find the next note kind of out in the open at 75.7, 75.5. If you move pretty much directly west from this note, you'll find the next one atop a cliff at 75.4, 73.9. For the next note, you'll have to come down this cliffside and continue working your way west. Cross the river, and the next note is right on the shoreline at 75.6, 71.5. We are going to have to start making our way to the jungle for the next note, but not too far because the next note is at 76.6, 70.6, barely inside the jungle. Continue heading west until you find this little path area. Once you've found that, you know you're very close. Navigate to 76.4, 68.1, and you're there. Cross this river while continuing west to find the next note at 74.9, 65.5, slightly inside the forest on a hill. You'll want to move northwest for the next one that's located between two trees at 72.7, 64.4. This note gets dangerously close to the swamp, so be very, very careful. We actually did end up finding a note in the heart of the swamp that I don't really want to recommend to you because it's really quite dangerous and almost definitely not worth your time. If you don't really care much about your character's well-being though, it is fairly close at 70.6, 61.1 in a pretty obvious dev-made structure right in the middle of the water. For the next notes, you'll have to either travel across the map, which I don't recommend, or die and respawn at West Zone 1. I got a really unlucky spawn again here by being ridiculously far northeast, so instead of walking to that southwestern island, I flew myself to this beach so we could be at a relatively close starting point. If you do end up with a spawn like this, just walk yourself to this beach to begin. The first note on this island is just inside the tree line at an urn at 82.627. The next one is also really close and just inside the tree line in a chest at 83.8, 27.7. I know I kind of wander around for a second here, but it's really close and should be easy to find. Head southwest for the next note. It's right out in the open at 86.4, 26.7. The next one is on top of this big rock thing here that you'll have to parkour onto to get. It did take me a while to figure out how to get up there, but once I did, the note wasn't that hard to find at all, considering it was basically on top of me. Ah yes, here it is at 86.7, 24.9. Should be really easy for you to get down, so, you know, do what you gotta. The next note is southwest of that rock thing, right off this cliffside. It's a pretty obvious note once you see where it's positioned. Just carefully drop down and you've got it. Have no fear, gamer. Your exact coordinates are 89.2, 24.4. You'll want to drop down into the ocean below to safely exit this note. Make sure you actually land in the ocean though, otherwise, you know, you'll die. If you follow this bit of land while keeping the ocean to your left, you'll run right into the next note that's kind of tucked away at 87.4, 23.2. We only have a few notes left, so stick with me. We'll have to start traveling north for the next one. It's right inside the tree line at 83.1, 23.4 in a chest. The next one is right on top of this hill very nearby at 83.2, 24.7. The next note is a short run away in the northerly direction. Cross this river and look around this hill. It's weirdly tucked away, but as I'm looking for it, you can actually see it in the corner of my screen. I missed it like 10 times. It's located at 78.2, 23.5, and really shouldn't take you as long to find as it took me. Head east for the next note and look behind this rock just below this little hill. It's actually extremely close at 78.1, 24.3. So during this entire run, I really only crafted a pickaxe and haven't gotten any additional XP from crafting other than that. By this point, you should be level 60 if you've made pretty much anything at all, so the next notes are kind of bonuses. This note is just behind this jagged rock at 77.1, 26.0. We do reach level 61 from this, meaning our note run is complete. But you must be wondering, this doesn't get me to level 100. Terrifier, you've let me down. Well, gamer, settle down. I've got you. If you haven't died and still have this XP boost active, it's a good idea to start crafting yourself a small base of operations so you can begin the hunt for apex predators. Killing any big predator will help you gain XP quickly, and if you still have the XP buff, crafting will help you level more quickly as well. In addition to those things, it's a good idea to start going on cave runs once you're a bit more established. Caves expose you to lots of enemies and can actually get you some pretty good loot in the process, helping you to survive longer. I do have a video about caving if you have any questions about it that you should see popping up on screen right now. But at the end of the day, you're going to be crafting lots of items, building lots of things, and killing lots of stuff. So they truly are some of the best things you can do to get to 100. Simply playing the game at this point will get you to level 100 more quickly than you think, especially if you've still got this XP boost active. If you're tired of looking for more Explorer notes but want the bonus XP, make yourself some Broth of Enlightenment. It doesn't give you as much XP as an Explorer note will, but it does make a significant difference as you progress. This is a game that's meant to be enjoyed, and part of that enjoyment comes from gathering resources, building, crafting, and taming dinos. All of which I recommend you start doing after this short note run. Trust me, you'll have a high-level character in no time, so relax and enjoy. I wanted to thank everyone for helping us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. We would not be in this position if it wasn't for you, so tremendous thanks, and we hope to continue to provide excellent content for you in the future. If you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss any future content. Thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you in the next video.